Hey guys, it's Dave.tcg here again with a gameplay video. This is OP02 Smoker versus Kinemon. I've been having great success with Smoker. I'm still gonna do draw law, but I'm playing Smoker for now to play my local tournaments. I've won 3 tournaments so far with Smoker, so I just want you guys an insight how to play Smoker, especially against a Kinemon matchup. Like I said, if you guys do like this video and want to see more OP02 content gameplay, let me know. So sorry for the extra Discord people that joined, but let me just go ahead and replay. So with Smoker, I went first. You want to go second, like every deck now, like I mentioned before, now wants to do. And you don't want to attack right away. You want to go ahead and pass turn, draw a card, pass turn if you have the event card, because then you can get rid of their Okiku or Raizo. So as a Kinemon player on their side, just know the Smoker's gonna pass turn, especially if they have their event card. So try not to swing, and if you do swing, swing with the Okiku first because the event card can't kill active 3 costs or less. So because the Okiku is still active, I'm able to use the event to not only not take a hit, but also kill the Okiku, getting rid of that pressure. So just remember that, guys, when you're fighting against Smoker. And then for the Smoker players, like I said, you want to pass turn. Don't bring any guys out like your Garps or blockers early, just because then it can be targeted and you're gonna lose. So the way I play Smoker, which you're gonna see, is very passive in the beginning because I want to make sure I get to the late game because you are a late game monster, especially with a lot of cards in hand. So don't try to trash a lot of cards, and this will help you win most of the games against Zoros and Kinemons. So here my opponent plays Momo to search. He searched a Cat Viper and he played 2 Tokis. Tokis are not blockers unless there's a character that acts like Odin or Odin himself, right? Not the leader. The leader Odin does not count, just but nobody's gonna play the leader Odin that I know of. So of course we're gonna have to get rid of Momo right away so he doesn't get pluses. And then I play Kuzan. Kuzan lets me draw 1, and he's basically my enabler for most of my combos. So I try to keep him alive, especially against the Kinemon matchup. We're still sitting here at 5 lives. So is my opponent. Like I mentioned, you do not want to swing at them early. Um, it's not you're not gonna starve them like I mentioned in the draw law videos, but you're basically gonna you wanna slowly hit them in the mid game, not in the early game, so you can safely go. So he's gonna swing 8k to my leader. I'll gladly take it because you want to see a lot of cards in hand. And then he plays a killer with 1 down under it, so I'm not gonna swing because then he gets a plus in his hand, right? He's already at 5 cards in hand. I went ahead and play another Kuzan, so lets me replace, so I'm not losing hand advantage. And then here I should pass turn, and I have 3 Dawn open. I don't know. Yep. So I went ahead and told my pass turn. So it says turn. So as you guys can see, I'm just playing very, very slowly. I'm not really swinging if I don't have to. I'm keeping the Kuzans to kill his Odin, right? Because the Odin is a 8 cost. By swinging with the Kuzan, becomes a 4 cost, and then you're able to kill it with your Sakazuki. You're able to do a Kobe Smoker combo. He swings 5 on leader. I'm going and block that, even though I do 1 card in hand, just because he's gonna threat with the Odin, which he just played out. And I just want to make sure I have a safety net in my life. I try not to waste more than 1 card in defending in the mid game. So here we go, you guys. You're gonna see the combo. So 5k a leader. He's most likely gonna take because he wants to see some cards. So this will be the first swing that's gonna go through. And then I'm gonna -4 to the Odin, making him 4 costs, making him the range for a lot of cards because I can do a Smoker to Kobe or just straight up Sakazuki. So I showed Sakazuki here. So here, unfortunately, I'm gonna start having discarding cards, and that's what I mean by going to the late game safely, because I have enough cards I can discard and still protect myself by not wasting cards early. Here I remind my opponent that Odin's effect. He still can see 9 Scabbard with a 3 cost, so that targets Okiku, Raizo, or Izo. Um, Okiku would be the best target here since he'll be able to swing at my Kuzan, rest my other Kuzan, and kill the other Kuzan. I think he chooses Raizo. I don't know if it's just because he didn't have enough other Okikus, maybe they're in the life, or maybe he just wants to see more cards with the Raizo. So this is, personal preference. It's just my opinion. Okiku would have been the play. What else I was gonna tell you guys? So, oh, he actually shows Okiku. I'm sorry. I guess later he chooses the look at that spoilers alert. So since I expected him to choose the Okiku, I have Kobe in hand, and I'm gonna have to use the Kobe here to get rid of the Okiku, so it doesn't remove pressure on my board. So another discard from hand. I have to discard Borsalino because I'm pretty sure I had another one in hand that I was gonna save for later. And as a smoker player, you guys will know it becomes hard to know what card to discard. But point being is, if you don't discard early, you're able to discard later and still have enough fuel to then finish the game with your bigger bodies. So I'm sitting pretty good here. He's gonna attack my Kuzan. I think here's where I made a little mistake. I should have protected my second Kuzan. Unless I didn't have any 1K counters anymore, or I just want to keep enough hand. But just because the Kuzans, like I said, are enablers for your combos and they're big boys. So I think the only 1K counter I had was Borsalino, and I wanted to play him because he is a blocker for the late game. So I don't remember, guys. I think that was my rationale to it. But in general speaking, if you did have something you want to protect it, because he really didn't have anything else that he could swing to the Kuzan. So here it goes. He plays a second Odin and a what's his name? An Ebony. So now I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I wasn't too worried when he killed my first Kuzan because I had a second Kuzan, so the combo still works. I'm gonna activate Smoker's ability here to -1 cost on the killer, and the reason is because I'm gonna kill it with the event card that kills a 1 cost or less. I play 3 of those in my deck. Good against Zoro, good against controlling the board. This allows me to freely attack with Kuzan for him not to gain plus. Either he takes a hit, and then I'm -4 to the Odin, allowing me to target him. So you're gonna see him here. Oh, he counters out, and we're okay with that. If he counters out one less card, so here we go, another Sakazuki. That's the reason I discarded my other Sakazuki with the first Sakazuki, was because I had another one in hand for display. Discard another Kuzan just because he doesn't have a counter, allowing me to target the Odin again. This time he's able to search. I think this is the time he picks the Raizo. Um, I told him that he can search again. There he goes. And I guess just either because he has the Okiku in hand, or because it's that life, or I don't know, some other people maybe just play 3 Okikus instead of the 4. But still, Raizo, solid pick. He'll be able to activate Raizo's effect due to the Bonnie and then Raizo swing. Here I decided to swing with the Smoker. The Tokis are not blockers anymore, and I bump him 7. So now you're gonna see me being more aggressive, because now we're heading to that late game spot where I have to use my board to pressure him to either use his hand and tell him that I can have game at any time, right? And it's because now my hands is dwindling down due to the multiple Sakazuki, and now Kobe, right? And obviously, and then I use a counter a couple times. So I really want him to swing a life here so I can get some resources. But first, he's not going to. First, he's going to get rid of the Kuzan because that's the right play. He wants to get rid of the pressure of the board and the combo starter. So he's going to go ahead and do Bonnie. Bonnie searches the 8 cost kid. This allows him to then swing with Raizo to the Kuzan and have him draw a card. From there, he's going to go ahead and play another card or swing with his 2-mon life. So here, I can either protect my Kuzan or not. And like I said, I really want him to attack my life, so I'll let this go. So then it tempts him to attack my life with his leader, and hopefully allows me uh, to still continue the comeback. He goes and plays a third Odin, and I'm like, oh no, dude. I don't know if I can come back because three Odins is pretty rough. And now he got rid of my Kuzan, and I did not expect, I honestly thought he was going to play the 8 cost kid, and I would have been fine. But because he played a third Odin, and I don't have my Kuzan no more, now I have to do some math, right? I have to think about what I'm doing. So first I do the simple thing, which is Kobe to Bani. If he blocks with Toki, I'm okay with it. And he lets it go. I then activate Smoker's ability by making one of the Tokis a 0. He becomes a 7k swing attacking at Raizo. Again, I think here he could have probably blocked with the Toki, but I think he's saving the blocks just in case I went face to life. So I played Kuzan to draw, and this is just gonna help me kill the Odin for next turn. So then I go ahead and play the Borsalino in hand, and I'm just thinking, I was like, is there a way I can get rid of this Odin, this turn? And then I guess I just decided, I was like, no, it'll cost too much resources, and I'll fall too behind. So I'd rather just play it safe, play another body on the board, which will be Borsalino. He's a blocker, it'll protect me, and then I'll just get hit a couple times in life. Now I am taking a little while to play this turn just because there is multiple options here. Oh no, I don't think I played Borsalino here. Yeah, I changed my mind. I went ahead and did Tashigi there, and yep, there's the Tashigi. So the reason I chose Tashigi here instead of the Borsalino, and those were the two I was contemplating back and forth, was if he somehow gets rid of my Kuzan, then I'm still able to then minus 3 on the Odin, making him a 5 cost, and a way to get rid of him was my plan. So I have a backup way to get rid of the Odin if he gets rid of the Kuzan, since Kuzan can be targeted by Izo, it can be targeted. Um, but I think that was it actually. By oh no, and the Yamato, right? The Izo and Yamato. So I was afraid that if he gets rid of the Kuzan, I won't be able to get rid of the Odin, especially with two Toki blockers. So just a backup. There is a world where he can, was it? He can Izo, Cat Viper, and then just Odin swing on both. I just had to. I just betted that it didn't happen. So he swings at my life finally. I'm gladly taking it. I'm like, I need some cards in hand. I need backup plans. And as you can see, OP02, and then he plays the ACOS kid. ACOS kid is activated to play Capone. So now his Odin's even more protected. But now that my Kuzan is still alive, you can see here that Kuzan's going to enable me to destroy the Odin, even even though he's protected, right? And that's how powerful the 4-cost Kuzan. I honestly think the 4-cost Kuzan is the MVP of my Smoker deck because every time I play the Smoker deck, if I have the Kuzan out and it lives, it just feels very strong. Without the 4-cost Kuzan out, I feel like my deck, well, the Smoker deck is not being very efficient. So here I activate Kuzan plus Tashigi minus equals -6 on the Odin. Then I'm gonna activate Smoker's ability to make the Odin a 1 cost. And if you guys know, the event card I played earlier gets rid of 1 cost or less. So this allowed me, by keeping Tashigi and Kuzan Lao, allowed me to kill an Odin with an event card. The reason I chose Odin versus the Akos kid, I believe the Odin is a stronger character that needs to be answered right away because it can finish games really quickly. So I prioritize the Odin, and then I should be able to get rid of the ACOS kid in my mind. Gotta take a little breather here. So what I was saying is that OP02, while he's searching for his card with Odin's ability, is seems like it's more fair. Like even though I won, like I said, 3 tournaments with the Smoker deck that I'm showing you guys right now, every time I won, it was not by a landslide. It wasn't like I felt confident like I did with my draw law deck. It's been a very close match that can go either way depending on your draws. Which is what One Piece is supposed to be, right? One Piece is supposed to play a game, uh, which is a nice game that the deck seems fair. And I do feel like Zoro is still the strongest deck just because of his consistency and rush, able to still keep his hand power and attack. But it's not it's not like I feel like every time I fight Zoro, I mean, like I said, I've beaten five Zoros so far, and then lost one in practice when I first built this deck. Like it's not by a landslide. So that's a good thing about OP02, which again sucks for me because of my draw law, but it is nice for the game. So let's go ahead and go to his turn. So I played Borsalino at the end to protect me on his turn, and he goes ahead and plays Izo, rests my Borsalino, and swings away a cost kid. That is fine with me. It did its job. I wasn't too worried. But then now his Rise was able to attack my Tashigi and then draw a card, and then his Kinemon's gonna clear my field. So, and this is the right move. Him attacking my field and having a stronger field now, and plus hand power, he is definitely in control with the Kinemon at this time. I'm over here. I don't even think I looked at my cards. So I was like, there's no reason to block it. The Kinemon's gonna swing at my my Kuzan. Now I could have protect my Kuzan here, but then I'm pretty sure he puts Dawn into his Kinemon just to make sure the Kuzan dies. Yep, he's gonna go ahead and swing 9k to Kuzan, I'm pretty sure. And that's just because, again, we all agreed that Kuzan is one of the main characters in Smokers to initiate combos, like I mentioned before. So try to protect your Kuzans if possible. Play him like you would any searcher, or you want to play him safely. You can play him on curve, it's fine because you do draw one, but then the other two, three Kuzans that you see, try to keep them alive as much as possible so you can capitalize. So then it comes to my turn, and I have to think of a way to get rid of the 8 cost kid and the Raizo. So I have two Sakazukis that are 7k, so I was thinking just swing everything 8k to the kid, but then his Raizo will still be alive. He's able to draw more cards. So I still have 3 life. I'm very confident that I'm still okay. He's going to eventually swing in my life. I come back. So I went ahead and dropped my big boy, the MVP himself, the 10 drop Kuzan, which minus everything on the field on your turn by 5 costs. And it pops a 0 cost when he comes on play, which the Raizo was 4, went down to basically -1, but you can't go -1, so 0, which allows me to pop him. Not only that, now I have a 10k beater that's able to go over the kid next turn if he does swing with the kid to my life. So I feel like this was the strong play. Now I feel like my board is actually stronger than his, but he does have more hand power than me. So it's still a close game. He goes here and rests one of my Sakazukis, relieving pressure by killing it. And I'm gonna have to let this go because he still has 6 Dons. He has a 8k beater that he's gonna swing over to Sakazuki, swing 9k to it. I cannot waste my hand because you need hand in Smoker to then do abilities, right? So I let it go. And unfortunately, unlike Draw Law, Black only has cards that replace it itself and maybe +1 if you hit the trigger ability. And that's only if you play the card that I was playing here that kills a 1 drop or less. So he attacks life. I activates the card I just told you about that lets me draw 2, discard 1. One can argue that's still a minus because you don't get that card back to your hand. It just goes straight to the trash. Um, but it just feels like a +1 to me. So then he attacks again. I do get another card. So now I'm sitting pretty. Now I have cards in hand. I draw for my turn. I have a 10 drop. I have my Sakazuki that's a 7 K beater, I feel confident now, and that's why it's important to try to get to a late game with at least 3 to 2 life. Less than 2 life, it's like the Kaido rule where you basically shut down to play your Kuzan, unless you have a massive Borsalino board on the field when you're at 1 or less life, which most likely not gonna happen. So you want to try to stay healthy at 3 to 2 life to late game so you can drop the Kuzan safely. If not, then use the Kuzan as a discard fodder. Um, and here I'm just thinking what to do. I'm like, do I? So right now the 8 cost kid is a 3 cost. I can just drop the Sakazuki, kill the 8 cost kid, and now I can freely swing at the Izo. He can block it if he wants. I discard Great Eruption. Great Eruption is a card I put in here instead of a third Hamepo because it allows you to -2 and then replace the card to see more cards in black, which is still very important even though I'm not plusing 1 with that card I'm replacing. At least I can see some cards, unfortunately. Uh, black doesn't have any real true draw engine. So I went ahead and did 5k swing to the Izo. He went ahead and dropped 2 cards in hand to restand the Izo, so it just you know, interprets to me that he doesn't have too much offensive capability in his hand. So I swing 10k a leader, he takes it. So now and then I play Borsalino here to defend myself because I only have 1 life left. So now I think I'm pretty straight. He has only 1 blocker in the field. Remember, the Toki does count as a blocker now because the Yamato is still alive. But if I'm able to get rid of Yamato with a hand card in hand, now he only has 1 blocker, 1 life. I have a big board. So I just gotta survive this turn. In my mind, I'm like, if I survive this turn, I can end the game next turn. But if he can rest my Borsalino, and then I don't have, he doesn't know what I have in hand, right? I only have a few cards left in hand. If he able to get through, then I lose the game. And this is how close the game is, guys. In most matches, the game is gonna be like this, where you any player can take it depending on what they have in hand and how much you swing and don efficiency towards the late game. Which is a nice thing, right? It's a nice essence of what One Piece is supposed to be. So here he's gonna go ahead and for 3 play Izo to rest my Borsalino, just like I call it. I'm over here like texting away, like, oh man. So he can possibly end the game. He has a couple swing. He can swing with the Izo. He can swing with the Yamato, which is a 6k beater, a very strong card, and he can swing with his Kinemon. And I have no more blockers now. So in my mind, I'm trying to calculate how much he's gonna do. Here he does like a huge swing to my leader. I think it was a 13k. Oh no, he swings at a Kuzan. I remember. He tries to get rid of the Kuzan. So he swings 13k. I have two 2ks in hand, so I protect on 14k. Now all I have to do is get rid of the Yamato and then just try to go for game. Or make him use most of his cards, right? And I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like he should have just tried to go for game here. He has the hand advantage. He had a couple down. I think I would have survived, but at least it'll put pressure that if I don't finish him this turn, he can then finish me next turn. Um, I'm pretty sure. So then I go ahead and play Kobe. Remember, Kobe kills the Yamato because he's uh he's at 1 cost. Oh no, he's at 0 cost because of my 10 cost Kuzan, which now allows the Toki not be able to defend. I activate Smoker's ability to the Izo because it's 0. Smoker allows it to be a 7k, so I can swing 7k with just 1 down under it because even though it's at 0, by activating Smoker's ability, as long as there's a 0 cost card on the field, his effect still activates. So now I swing 9k with 1 Sakazuki. He then activates um, what's it called, Waterfall, which allows to kill a 4 cost, so it has to go to Kobe. And then I'm gonna swing 9 and 12, and I'm just letting you know. I'm just doing calculations, seeing is it better to just swing with Kazuki 14 or just do a 9 and 12 or 7 and 12. And I'm still thinking about it. I was like, hang on. Let me see, 7 or 9. And I'm just, you can see me talking. I'm thinking. So then I finally decided, you know what? I'm gonna do 9 and 12. And he's like, dude, you got it. Doesn't matter what you do. Uh, you have the game. And that was it, guys. That was Smoker versus Kinemon. Very close game. Like I said, quick tips. Don't attack right away. Let it go to mid game. Keep your hand power. Don't use a lot of discard fodder early, so then you can combo to kill their Odin and then control the game with your big boys on the field, since you did not use them very early. That is my tips to play against green with Smoker. Um, if you guys want more tips or tricks in OP02, let me know. Comment below. I hope you guys like this video. And Dave TCG signing out. Have a good day, guys.